Hey, welcome back to the channel, man. Go ahead, like this video, comment down below. Let me know where y'all from and who you a fan of, who you rocking with. So no matter what way you look at it, Big 30's been 1017 since day one, man, because he wanted to go where Pooh Shiesty went. And when Pooh Shiesty gets out and links back up with Gucci Mane, he's going to bring in Offset, man, because Offset and Gucci Mane know each other. They both from Atlanta. So all the Atlanta people, when things hit the fan and Quavo splits up and everything, at the end of the day, they're going to come back together to get this bread because there's no problems with Offset and Gucci Mane. And so the only thing is that Gucci Mane and Yo Gotti and all them, they all know each other. And so that's why he trying to prevent it from him going over there, because he can't even go over there because Offset's rocking more with Young Dolph. And so there's going to do more projects. If Dolph was still here, Gucci Mane would have did a 1017 remix collab with PRE and Young Dolph, because they were going to get Key Glock, Pooh Shiesty, Big 30, and all those guys onto one tape. And it was going to make it so where it was a new takeover of the 1017 PRE. Like, you already know that there's a lot of people who mess with PRE, and 1017 is interchangeable and everything like that, because at the end of the day, they do the same things but just wear different chains about it. And so what y'all got to realize is that it's going to be a big collab, because now CMG is going to have direct pressure on them where they're going to have to compete, and that Rico is going to get in the way of a lot of different things, man. And Key Glock is sitting back looking at it happy, because he knows at the end of the day that if anything happens, Gucci Mane is going to have all the PREs back, due to the fact that Young Dolph was very, very loyal to Gucci Mane. If you look back and binge watch all my videos, you will see how Young Dolph and Gucci Mane been rocking together. As a matter of fact, they were trying to get Pooh Shiesty out before all them folks did that to Young Dolph first. And so the thing is that now that 1017 is becoming recognized by taking over what's left of the Migos and Offset and everything like that. And you know what? They can't, jprince Jr. and them, they can't tell Offset what to do no more. He doesn't have to take orders from them. So at the end of the day, he doesn't have to deal with going to Houston and checking in. And if they come to Atlanta, then it's on his grounds. Now he has Gucci Mane to stop them and make them check in, because at the end of the day, they trying to still get this bread, and they don't need jprince Jr. and all of them coming running up into their city trying to stop what 1017 is doing, trying to stop what Offset's doing, because at the end of the day, that's probably the worst mistake they could make, because Gucci Mane don't play about his bread like that. You seen what happened to the last dude that tried to run up on Gucci Mane. Exactly. And that's how we ended up not seeing Gucci Mane for a while. But, you know, he got free because he had to do what he had to do. And so that's why Offset respects that, because he's willing to go to somebody who will take it to that length to protect and make sure that their bread is good and everything, and their lives is good like that too. And so just due to the fact that he don't want to have to deal with, none of the QC people no more. And, he hasn't talked to Lil Baby in a while, ever since the fact that Lil Baby was in that whole mix up of the Sweetie conversation. So he was just really trying to get away from all of that stuff. He couldn't get away from QC. Offset kept seeing Lil Baby around, which kept making things sour with Cardi B because of the Sweetie situation. And that's the thing that basically made it to where the Migos broke up, all because of a simple little misunderstanding between who was going out with that girl at the time. And that's why Offset doesn't want to have anything to do with Moneybagg Yo, because he got the same situation going on with Ari Fletcher and G Herbo and everything like that. What people have been talking about, how she been going between the two, and that some people think that her and Moneybagg Yo was not even a real relationship or anything like that. And so that's crazy, because if they have kids or if they have anything like that together, how you going to explain to them that the relationship is fake, like they your fake parents and everything like that too? So at the end of the day, man, y'all just got to realize that Offset's going to do what's best for him and Cardi B. And if that means going with 1017, and the thing is too, they got to look into making sure that Cardi B doesn't have any beef with Gucci Mane, because now that could come in and make a turn for everything. Because when Offset was by himself, he only had to worry about who he dealt with and who he had problems with, whether he was going to work out with them or not. And so now that he's got Cardi B with him, every single place he goes, she's right next to him by his side. Then he's got to think about, okay, does Cardi B got problems with these people? Does Cardi B have problems with Gucci Mane? Because he needs to know that right away before he goes and tries to link up and sign with Gucci Mane for over $2 million. So that's why he had to pull Cardi B aside in New York and ask her, hey, look, do you got any problems with Gucci Mane? Do you got any any problems with Sauce Walka? Because we need to find this out now before I go and try to make business moves with them and everything like that. And at the end of the day, they just trying to make sure that they back on the grind doing the same thing that they was always doing, because you already know that a lot of people who rock with Young Dolph, that's why they rock with him heavy, is because he was always working instead of doing the beef and stuff, and he let the beef and go to Yo Gotti and them, and look where that turned out, man. So people got to realize that you got to open your eyes and look at the facts of, like, they should have all just stayed about getting their bread instead of trying to beef about girls or about territory or power tripping and everything like that, because none of that is going. At the end of the day, you can't take any of that with you, and so you only got the time that you around, and so you got to make sure that you actually go and run it up and live it up to the fullest, because at any given moment, anything could be taken away. And so that's why these dudes is out here, millionaires, rappers, they got millions and millions of dollars, and they still arguing over girls. They still arguing over the smallest, pettiest stuff that should have been left in the streets and never should have came with them into the successful millionaire lifestyle that they have. They should have been able to know that, okay, they can't be moving like that anymore, because now they got a lot to lose, and that's exactly what's going on. You see how the small little simple mistakes by Quavo and Offset had just catapulted and domino affected into the situation that it is, that broke up the whole group and left hundreds of millions of dollars on the table that is just basically thrown away and gone to waste because of the fact that they can't stand being around each other no more, and they want to break up the Migos and end that, and no more $100 million checks coming in. And so see, a lot of people, they could ruin the situation that they got because their ego gets into it, because of girls, because of money, because of fame, clout, and, you know, all the jealousy and envy that goes on in the world is basically the reason why a lot of people have fallouts. They crash out or they get burnt out. There was very, very burnt out over what was going on in Atlanta, what was going on around them at the Migos, the Cardi B, the Sweetie situation. QC was having people knock at their door. One day they knocking at their door for a Rico. The next day they knocking at their door to buy them for $300 million. And so all this stuff is going on, and Offset just wanted to get a break from all of it, go to New York and lay back and just duck off with Cardi B until he could figure out whether guccimane is going to give him that $2 million to sign on or not. Because if Young Dolph was still around, Young Dolph would have probably picked up Offset or Quavo or one of them and try to just make something back happen, make something work again, maybe do a versus or whatever, right? And so basically at the end of the day, you got to open your eyes and look at the facts that it's a revolving door situation. And now guccimane gonna have to deal with the pressure coming from jprince Jr. and jprince's dad and everything like that if they start tweaking or having a problem over Offset, because you know that they're gonna be always trying to like regulate and have their politics into the hand of everything that goes on, especially since like they really was trying to beef with Offset. They was replying, like jprince was actually going out of his way to reply to Offset, which means that to him it's personal, like he took a offense to it or whatever, and it made him even go to the great lengths of coming out and speaking on those subjects, even though that's not even what jprince and them are supposed to be doing. And so a lot of people looked at him like, this looks weird, jprince going on the internet and responding back to Offset all over talks over a girl and just some petty stuff that could have been resolved a long time ago. But you know what I'm saying, the egos, the jealousy, the envy, and the macho man contest basically got in the way of it, and that's why you see the jprince Jr. and his dad coming out and replying and going on TV and just talking about the whole Takeoff case and everything like that, because they already knew that they was in hot waters, and whatever Offset was saying about them basically made it to where they had to come back and respond back to him to clear the record straight for everybody to hear.